Okay. Now we're
Okay.
good. Okay.
Sorry about that. How
We're
you doing, Jimmy?
great. Great. Thank you for setting time aside. Princess German, now known as Princess Dodson, excuse me. One of the best names in college basketball, if you ask me, going through
Oh,
my
thank you.
time at UND. You were a former Division two basketball player and now a traveling ICU nurse. There were also a bunch of other letters after your name that signify some qualifications. So if I didn't cover all the bases, go ahead and cover it now.
No, you're fine. You pretty much covered it. So, I mean, the first one is just the BS in psych. That's what I got when I was in college. That's the degree that I received when I was in college.
Okay.
Um, and then the other one, just BSN RN. That's just a registered nurse, my bachelor's in science and nursing. And yeah, you got that right. I'm Princess German-Dodson now. So I'm a
Okay.
married woman now.
How is married life for you? You enjoy it?
I enjoy it. I mean, it's really like we get that question all the time. Like we've been together since high school, ups and downs in college or whatever, the young stuff. But I
Hmm.
mean, it's not really. I mean, I guess it's just new when we have to do like certain life things, like when they ask you on the phone, different companies. I'm like, oh, I do have a husband, so all this crazy stuff. But
Right.
it's been going pretty well. No, it's good. It's good.
Um, is your husband ever sick? Like how does he handle being ill and you having to take care of him, you know?
um, he's a big baby when it comes to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, he handles everything pretty well. But I don't mind taking care of him. I've been doing it since we're 17, 18 years old. So
That's a good deal. Did he go to UND or a different school?
he went to a different school. He went to Benedictine University in Lisle. So it was a lot of
Okay.
like long distance crap going on. So
Okay. And you're originally from Gary area, is that right?
yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, cool. My aunt lives up there in Miller Beach, so I'm always yeah.
Ah, nice.
And one of my best friends from UND, who's been on the program before, Jordan Beasley, I know really well. So I didn't know if you
Oh,
crossed paths
mm-hmm.
with him.
Yeah, he's
Um,
from Hammond.
yeah, yeah, up there in the region. So um, I was a Pacers fan growing up. Being from that area in Gary, were you more of a Pacers or Bulls fan?
Um, I was more. I definitely wasn't a Pacers fan. I was more of a Bulls fan, especially because my favorite point guard of all time was Derrick Rose.
Okay, yeah,
I still support Rose. But yeah, definitely a Bulls fan when it comes to that. I
and
I usually just like follow players, not like teams. So I more so follow like players.
okay. With that being said, who were your favorite players and who are they now? Yeah.
Definitely my brother. Eugene German. He's a beast. He's
Right,
really good. He's
right.
playing over in China. Right now, of course, I've always loved LeBron. That's always going to be there. Um, I like what's his name from Minnesota. He plays like Michael Jordan to me. uh, I can't think
Edwards.
of his name. Yes, Anthony
Hmm.
Edwards. Yes, yes, yes. And
Yeah.
then
Hmm.
that's about it. I mean, of course, Steph Curry and all that. Like I have like different things. I'm usually like picky with certain stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Edwards, he was coached by Tom Crean, so I'm sure some Hoosier fans,
Uh,
you know, there's good and
hmm
bad with Tom Crean, I guess, depending on what
hmm
side you're on there. Um, Again, you did psychology in as your undergrad, is that right? Yeah.
I
Uh,
did. I started off with nursing, but then I switched to psychology.
okay. Well, one reason I went to UND was the physical therapy program. And I figured, having cerebral palsy, if I was ever having a bad day, I could go over there. How was your educational experience at UND? Would you say?
I would say like that's a really good school. I would recommend it. I mean, it's just like it's smaller, so it's more personable. You'll be able to like I feel like the instructors wouldn't know. I mean, I know that they see a lot of students, even the students that commute or where they commute or live on campus, but
Hmm.
I would say like the educational part, it was like really it was nice, I mean, the instructors for the most part, I didn't really have too many complaints, but yeah, it went pretty well.
Did basketball ever interfere with academics?
Oh my gosh. So that I tell people all the time, it's like it really is a lifestyle. Like, a lot of that stuff started like that organization stuff, like that started more so in like high school.
Mhm.
So as far as like balancing your time. So it really takes a lot of communication. So in high school, I would have to like tell my instructors like, hey, I have this AAU tournament. First of all, they don't care about AAU tournaments. They want you in school. So I'm like, I would tell them like, hey, I'm leaving like on Thursday. Can I get like some of my work ahead of time? So, and that's how I kind of balanced it in high school. So when it came to college, you know, they feel like you're an adult, you're grown. You better make sure you're contacting and communicating with us. So it was just a lot of communication, a lot of balancing things out, and specifically like with the nursing program. So I really applaud a lot of the athletes who finished nursing school while being full-time athletes, because
Mm.
that's rough, because I tried to do it. Like I passed one class, the other class got a B minus. So that's a fail in nursing school. So it was
Ah,
definitely a lesson learned, but it's just like, it's tough. And that was with me staying on top of my communication and everything. But there's certain majors that you really couldn't do that I know for me, it was hard to do, like with trying to like missing a lot of class, missing a lot of or leaving early, so just it was just
right.
all, especially during like the GOVC tournament, so yeah, it was rough, but it's like it was a lifestyle. You got kind of used to the chaos, which is, it kind of helped me when it came to me pursuing my nursing degree, because I worked a lot to try to pay for school. So yeah, it was crazy.
What did you have an on-campus job? What were the things that you did for work aside too?
Oh, so I worked as like a patient care tech or like a CNA in the ICU when I was in nursing school.
Okay.
And then I would spend a lot of hours there studying, go to work. I would work 12-hour shifts. It was insane. But like people always, like the other girls that asked me in school, like, how are you doing that? I'm like, first of all, my parents aren't rich, even though they gave me a nice chunk for my senior year semester.
Hmm.
And my boyfriend at the time, which is my husband now, he also helped as well. But that was still, nursing school so expensive. So it was just like, I had to really work. Like I was like working like a lot of 12-hour shifts, showing up to clinicals the next like 4 hours later. Like I started drinking coffee 4 years ago. I'm like, it was a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I did like hospital jobs and then transitioned into, registered nurse after that.
Um, this is my only reference, so I'm sorry. But how similar is being a nurse to like Grey's Anatomy and what we see there?
What's funny? That is my show. That's really my show.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
but they have the funniest things. Like they have really great stories, like a lot of great stories. Um a lot of the diagnoses, a lot of stuff is real. But as far as like the doctors coming in, setting up IV pumps, that does not happen. We're setting up all those drips and stuff like that. But the collaborative work in there, like in that show, that is a real thing. Like for the most part, like nurses and doctors, they know how to collaborate. A lot of nurses know how to collaborate. But that's funny that you asked that.
Uh, you have a favorite Grey's episode that you enjoy?
um, I cry every other episode of that show, so there are too many. Let me see. I can't think. I can't think. I can't think. Um, I think the one, it was the most recent one, maybe like a year or so ago, when like when Dr. Gray, she was like in like that COVID coma. She was like comatose, but she was having those dreams. So when she was actually able to see like her husband who had passed away, Derek,
Right.
I was like, oh my God, I love that. So I don't know. I was like, oh, look at them. Tears. But yeah, I love that. It was nice. I like
I,
that episode.
I'm impressed that Shonda Rhimes is able to like come up with some kind of plot line after 20 years. That's pretty good, you know.
Right. I'm
So
like, I was in fifth grade when this show came out. What in the world?
um what's the most frustrating part of being a nurse, would you say?
A lot of times a lot of so we are underappreciated a lot. Like the crazy part is like I've been a nurse for 3 years, but I've been in healthcare like even during the summers. Like I would do like the workouts and stuff at UIndy, then I would work at night
Mm,
throughout the summers. I would do like the home health care, try to get like just my foot in the door with healthcare. But so like as long as I've been in there, I've been seeing like even like on the side of as an assistant, the nurses are underappreciated. As a nurse now, you feel underappreciated. Like you're expected to take on certain loads. Like, oh well, you can take care. Like, there's some like I work as a travel nurse now,
Mm,
so I'll go to some certain assignments. You'll have some assignments where like the charge nurse, which is a nurse who's in charge of that shift for that night. Which I work night shift, but they will help. They would help and they'll take on some patients if we get overloaded in the ICU, or
mhm.
you'll have it where they don't take patients and we're just like super stressed,
Yeah,
super overloaded with patients, or you'll have like doctors that are really good with collaborating and they talk to you pretty well. We speak well to them, or you have some that just look at you like like you don't know anything. So it's just a lot. It's just like you can't just throw pizza parties and think, hey, great job, nurses, there's some
yeah.
pizza. That's actually like an actual joke like, within the nursing field. You have to like really like show give a lot of these nurses some pay raises. There are a lot of hospitals that are just low on resources. A lot, and also too, I think the other part I don't like, and this is probably like going away from it, and I'll send it back to you. Like certain medications for like patients should not be as expensive as they are.
Yeah.
I look at that stuff. I'm just like, So I'm always trying to like encourage my patients, say, talk to social work, talk to case management, whoever else you need to talk to in order to try to get some help. I don't know. Like overall, I feel like we're appreciated, but then like there are certain situations that you run into. You're like, yeah, they don't appreciate nurses as much. So
Mhm.
I love my job, but it comes with a lot. It does.
Well, and everybody's different and everybody needs certain resources to feel the best they can. But as a former college athlete, somebody that works in medicine, what would you say is like the best way to manage your health if you had any kind of advice?
The best way to manage your health, I would say start head to toe. So when I say head to toe, I would say like mentally, you know, do some nice things for yourself. I'm not saying go broke and go spend money on just clothes and and shoes and drinks and stuff like that. But hey, like, take some time out for yourself, do some meditation, praying, or whatever you need to do. Go do some nice things for yourself, manicures, pedicures, go to a spa, and I'm just talking about everybody on your
Mhm.
off days, because nobody's rich, like I'm not rich. So, you have to try to do things, you have to work. So try to like do things to help your mental, watch some of your favorite shows, and then, physically go work out or do
Mhm.
as much as you can at home. If you can't afford a membership, try to do some things at home, look at some videos. You know, I would just say just take care of your mental and physical health, as much as you can. And ask questions, because we're
Mhm.
always asking questions to each other, and nobody in the medical field knows everything. Like,
Right.
we're always going to ask questions. So I would say ask us questions as much as possible. Do some research, a lot of that stuff. Whatever you have time for.
Um, I hate to say this about myself, but I probably wouldn't have the patience to be a nurse. Do patients ever frustrate you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now, Jimmy, you know me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all.
Yeah,
But
go ahead, spill.
I'm like really like I've always just had this thing in me ever since I was a child. Like I always want to care for somebody. Like I really want to get into healthcare because there's a period in my life where I had like back to back family members die from like certain illnesses, and I'm like, why is this happening? My mother, she was also a big inspiration. Like
Mm,
she was a nurse. But it's just like you have like patients that that have all the resources, all the resources that they need. Then they do certain things to themselves, and they come back in the hospital, and then we treat them, get them all together. Then they go back out there and do certain things themselves. And they come back. So like I would never tell them like, why would because you never know what people are going through mentally, but
mm,
I would always say like, hey, make sure you're just taking care of yourself as much as possible. I would just encourage, they call those like patients like frequent flyers in the hospital. But all we can do on our end is encourage, and it's still our duty to care for these patients, whether they show up there 4 or 5 times or not. But I mean, I would say that's probably the only, and also, some of the violent patients. Nobody wants
mm.
that.
Oh God. Well, I mean,
So yeah.
and let's be real. I mean, you're seeing people at their most vulnerable, which God
Hmm.
bless you for that. Like that's tough for both people to have to deal with, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's hard for them too. And I'm sure patients do not want to constantly see all these nurses rotating in, all the doctors all in the morning. So I feel for them too. I really do.
Um, I don't want to make you emotional, but you ever get attached to patients too, where you're like, I want it to work out for them, or I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I would feel the need to go to some funerals if I love the person. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I do. All the time, I'm always hoping for the best for my patients. Like even in the back of my mind, if I know like, yeah, I've seen this before, because each patient or each person, they're a person first. So let me just say that. Let me not refer to them as patients. So each person,
Mhm.
they're the way the way their bodies handle diseases and certain illnesses, may be different than like the tolerance of another person. So I'm always hoping for the best for my patients. I'm always, praying for the best, do my little private prayer, but I have a nice poker face at work, so nobody knows. But
Yeah,
I'm always encouraging my patients. But I would just say, like, it's always sad when you see that, like the family members hurt, regardless of whether or not they did certain situations, made themselves come into the hospital for certain activities they partake in. But
yeah.
I just like the sad part is just like seeing them actually pass away and stuff like that. But
Um,
yeah,
well, I would love your opinion on this. I hate to get kind of political, but one of the amazing things about this world is the access to vaccines and how that can fix things. I'm surprised how political COVID got and the whole vaccine thing of having to convince people to do that. I don't know.
mm.
What's your opinion on that as a nurse?
um, I don't get too political, but I will give you my opinion. I do feel like honestly, everybody should, and I vocalize this. Everybody should have the right to refuse, if you don't want to do it, because it is
Sure.
your body. I believe in doing what you want for your body.
Hmm.
But I also feel like people should understand when you make that decision, what can come after that. I've also had that situation happen too, like that 2020 year was just,
Mm,
that
right.
was crazy. Yeah, we had people calling up to the unit like, well, my dad doesn't believe in the vaccine, and we're doing certain measures to try to keep the dad alive, and we're like, so it's not like the vaccine. I'm not going to say that's an end all be all. Oh, let's save it, because you can still get the COVID. You can still get a
Sure.
lot of illnesses and stuff after getting a vaccine from it. But it's just a preventative measure. Just try to do your best to try to save yourself and save the person next to you, your people, your family members. I don't believe that stuff like. I mean, if we work in this environment, yes, everybody should have all the correct requirements if it includes vaccines and things like that. But I don't believe that if people don't want it, like, hey, it's your choice.
No, that's fair. Since you're a LeBron fan, let's go ahead and get it out of the way.
Oh God,
Is he the greatest of all time? Come on now.
I love me some Jordan. Come on now.
Yeah. It's okay.
I would say generational. Yes, generational.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna use a safe word.
Why can't we enjoy both? Why are people so combative? My God.
Right.
Like
I hate the debate. I mean, it's the sports world, so you know how that goes. But
yeah.
yeah,
Um, do you think he'll play to a point where like him and Bronny are winning a couple of championships? Like how far do you think he'll go?
what's crazy? I think he's gonna wait. I just told my brother this the other day. I think that he's gonna wait until he plays with the second son, and then he'll be. I think he'll be done, because I think he'll want to sit back. He's a family man, so I think he'll want to sit back and enjoy and watch, his children play and things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, and if you make it to the NBA, like that's a special kind of gene pool. But do you think LeBron? I'm just asking again as a nurse. Like, you think he uses any kind of performance enhancer to keep himself going?
I don't know, so I can't just like tell
I'm
her
not
from looking, but
speculating, but
but I
gosh,
was but I would say he just spends like a lot. I feel like he spends a lot of money on his body as far as like training,
yeah.
diet wise, making sure they have like their dietitian on board, like the seeing the doctors. I feel like he just invests in his body. That's how I feel about Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady, but that's how I feel about Tom Brady too. Like they invest in their bodies. That's why they have like that longevity like that. I feel like if you don't invest and if you don't actually work, they're still putting in the work too. If you don't put in the work, as well as the investments. I mean, I don't think you'll have the results that they had.
Right. Not for me to be combative, but since you're a Tom Brady fan, do you do you resent Peyton? Like, come on now, you can't. Or do you like him?
No, 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 no. I don't. I don't. I just like Brady. I just grew up. That's how it was in my household. It was just always the Patriots. Like ever since I was
Wow. Okay.
fourth, fifth grade. It's crazy. Yeah, it should be either I'm a Bear fan because of where I'm from, or it'll be Colts. But like no, like my dad was a Patriots fan since I was a child, so I just followed him.
Okay.
That's all that I did. I have no other real significance as to why I would like them, but
Um. Well, and I'm sorry for what you're going through now. It's a tough time to be a Patriot fan now. My God. Like,
yeah, that's trash right now.
you think Bill is gonna be on the way out? Like, he's gonna have to retire to preserve his legacy, I think.
I think at some point he'll retire, but I think he's still probably trying to prove a point. So I don't
Man.
know.
Let's see. Ideal place you would want to work as a nurse since you travel to different spots.
um, I would love to, and I have my California license, but I would love to work in like the Los Angeles area, more so like Beverly Hills. And I actually visited that
Okay.
hospital once, so I would love to work there. I haven't used that license yet, but I would love to work there.
Okay.
So I'll be all back out west soon anyway, so that's fine.
Would you treat like celebrities? That's what you're hoping for? Beverly Hills, them coming in?
No, so I like I mean they come to that hospital, but I like
Sure.
I started off in like a big teaching hospital. So I think that's what keeps me going. Like even with all the stress of nursing, like I still love the teaching aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I get a little rush, like, you get a little rush when you're trying to like, save a person, or, when you're rushing to get a medication, it's like, it's the sense of urgency, but it also makes you feel accomplished when you're able to use some of those aspects from learning to help your patient. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that's this specific hospital. I won't name it, but it's a nice teaching hospital, and it would I feel like it would just give me more knowledge. So far with the travel nursing, I started travel nursing pretty early in my nursing career because I wanted to see something different. But I feel like that specific hospital would definitely help with certain things. Each hospital, they specialize. They have a certain ranking at things that they're with certain specialties. So that with that hospital, I would want to just learn a little more and make
Okay.
the money. So yeah.
That's yeah, that's a benefit. What does your husband do for work?
So right now, my husband, he's works as a middle school teacher, and he's also a basketball coach at his alma mater, Bishop Noel
Okay,
Institute.
cool. Um, do you hope to have children in the future?
Oh yeah, I want a big family. I used to tell my
Okay.
mother I want to have like the Brady Bunch, but then now I'm scared now, so we're gonna see.
Okay. Um, I wanted to ask this back too. Another medical show that people should check out that and you can binge it now. Botched. Oh my God. Um, yeah. Like, would you ever work? Do they even have nurses in like plastic surgery situations or no?
So the crazy situation, yes. So um, a lot of nurses in like aesthetics, um, plastic surgery, like cosmetics, like they make a lot of good money too. So that's more so like
Right.
I mean, that's everywhere, but like definitely like the LA, Colorado, Arizona, like they make a lot of money. So, but me, no, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna do the little. I'm not gonna do that. I
No.
can't. It's certain things that I don't want to. I see a lot of crazy things, a lot of like nasty things, like. But I'm like, I can't look at that stuff. I can't look at certain flaps open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Discovery Plus has several shows that like surgery. I mean, I can't believe some things are documented that are actually on television. Um, did you play under Coach Popa?
I did. I did.
Okay. Um, for people that don't understand the reference to Constantine, he was really tall. He was like
hmm
6'11". How was your experience with Coach Popa? Would you say?
I would say it was fine. I mean, it was like my last 3 years. It was my final 3 years of college. So it was like a definitely getting to know each other. I would say he was tough on me, but he was also a lot. I've dealt with. I always say if I can deal with my dad, I can deal with any coach. Like, that's how I feel. Like if I can, and I've dealt with some rough coaches, like coaches that are maybe like tougher than Coach Popa, but he was tough on me, but he was also encouraging. Um, yeah, so it went fine. It was okay.
Well, and I don't know how often this happened, but I always ask ladies who play basketball this: how often did guys say, "Let's play one on one," and I'll beat you? Like, how often did that happen?
Cornball behavior. It happened almost every day. It was so corny every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, and then like, are they hoping for love and basketball? Like, what's their hope in that in asking that question? That's always my thing.
That's really all that it is. It's just flirting because like 98% of the time they cannot hoop. They can't play basketball. So yeah.
Who did you model your game after? Which player?
Mm, I would definitely say, well, I'm kind of, I kind of took things from a lot of players, if that's fair.
That's
So
fine.
like,
Yeah.
so like, you have, I told you Derrick Rose. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
He was definitely like before like pre-injury prone Derrick Rose, like
Tough.
definitely like modeling a lot of things because he had a lot of grit about him. Definitely, I got a lot of inspiration from like it's crazy my brothers those backyard days or just like people in the neighborhood going to play like an Ambridge or Borman Square. Sometimes we went there. Sometimes just like I would say, I model my game after like a lot of like the stronger point guards that were like gritty, like tough, like I don't know. I don't want nobody to think they can punk me. I don't know.
um, if you had a pregame playlist, what's gonna be on
Ooh, what? Okay, wait a minute. Are we talking
it?
about this era? Are we talking about okay, let me tell you.
Then and now, give it to me. Give it all. Come
Okay, so let me see.
on.
Definitely some cheap keep. It may get a little hood. I'm sorry. Cheap keep,
Okay.
some future, some little 2010s Drake. Um, what's crazy? uh every now and then I listen to Paramore.
Paramore. Wow.
Yes.
Of
That's
all
it.
faith. Yeah.
That's random, but that misery business and that decode will get you right before the games, okay?
Okay. Cool.
And then definitely some R&B. And if anybody knows me, 90s R&B, that's my thing. So that would be like my playlist.
All right. And I was trying to like encapsulate 90s R&B. When you say that, like what follows under that umbrella for you?
Ooh, okay. So you got
Yeah.
Jodeci. You got Jodeci. Faith. You have some Faith Evans, SWV. Um, oh my gosh, so many. It's so many. Um, mm,
Mac Morrison.
Guy, say it again.
Mac Morrison. I think that's his name, right?
Who was
Return
that? I don't know who it is.
Return of the Mac. That the guy who does that song.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like house
Yeah.
party ish. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, so people like that. Of course, like some Alicia Keys, like stuff like this. It's so many. My phone is just all my playlist on my Apple Music is all over the place.
All right. Uh most recent live concert that you've been to.
You want to know the funny part?
What? What's that?
Never been to a concert. I've never been to like a live concert.
Seriously? Never?
I've been to,
Wow.
I tell people all the time, the only time I've been to, like, we had to go to like a live orchestra in Chicago when I was in sixth grade. I went there. I've
Okay.
never, it was always like, I guess I never really focused on it even as like a teenager and an adult. Like, I was always like, basketball, school, boys, basketball, school, boys. So it's just like, I
Yeah.
never really like focused on a concert. I probably should have, though. I said I would.
See, I was spoiled as a young man because my dad was a musician. So I saw concerts from a
Ooh,
time that I was a young man. Yeah. So a lot of different things.
that's nice. What did he play?
He had a cover band.
Oh, okay.
Everything from R&B to soul. A lot of different things. Soul Man
Nice.
to Bruno Mars. He played Bruno
Yeah.
Mars up until the time he passed away. So,
Oh, I'm sorry to
um,
hear that. I'm sorry to hear
yeah.
that.
Thank you. I appreciate
Mm.
it. Um, One thing I'll say about you, I remember calling your name a lot because you had to handle the ball and you certainly scored a ton. Was there ever like jealousy with how much you had to handle for the team and how much you scored on a on a game to game basis?
Um, I would say you can more so when I first got there, I would say you can more so see it through like certain behaviors or comments. But I think my last 2 years, we were like we had like our ups and downs, but we were more like that was we got along a lot better in those last 2 years. So like that first year, it was kind of just like they didn't really know me, I didn't know them. I was going through like sort of like my own emotions too with transferring schools.
Right.
It was just like I don't know. You have to fill each other's games out. So there, it definitely was some like, and honestly, like with a lot of just women, period, like just catty. It's just catty. It's just how it is. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be anything like different than any other team because every team has something like that. Some situations like that.
You have to be friends with your teammates to be successful.
You said, do I have to be friends with them?
Yeah. What do you think? Do you have to be?
I don't think so. I've never thought that. I always thought that you should have some type of bond because even everybody's personal lives, like you have like different interests or you have different views on things, and you may not like the way a certain person speaks to certain people or just certain comments that are made. So I'm just like, I'll probably like be a good teammate with that person, but as far as like being friends, probably
Okay, fair enough. I love it.
not.
One bar that I would always go to on a Thursday night at UND was Tiki Bob's. Was
Tiki
there
Bob.
any? uh, yeah.
Ah,
What what
yes.
what joints did you end up going to when you were in college? I want to know.
You're hilarious. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went to Tiki Bar. It's crazy. I never like smoke or
Yeah.
drink in my life. So, but this is just us just going out having a good time, with the teammates and all that. So it was Tiki Bob. It was what was that club Blue or something like it was
Right.
like right down the street or something. And then Tiki Bob's was the best one though. Because
Well, yeah.
they play like diverse music and it was just when we were in there, we never saw any drama. So it was just always like, hey, we would choose that. Then it was another, I think Bartini's.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's funny.
Brothers was one that I would frequent before Tiki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a
Mm-hmm.
good one.
Yep. Yep.
And then you wind up getting Kilroy's breadsticks
Yep. I was
to
just gonna
wrap it
say the
up.
breadsticks.
Yeah. Um,
Oh.
are you're living in Chicago now? I'm sorry. Is that right?
So we were in Chicago. So for the past year since I've been doing travel nursing, we live in like the suburbs of Gary, so like Highland, Indiana.
Okay, cool.
So close to like Munster and Cherville.
Um, since we were talking about food, let's go back to that. Any restaurants that you miss in the Indy area that you'd like to have if you came back down
Um, I actually did go to one. What was that? It was for breakfast. Was it flapjack?
on the south side? Where was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, on the
probably.
south side, I think. It was
Yeah.
flapjacks, and then there was some. We went to for my 21st birthday. What the heck was that? I'm terrible. It was a nice Italian restaurant right downtown, but that doesn't even narrow it down. But
Yeah.
um, I went to Ocean Air Sea. I mean, this is more like upscale too. I went to the Ocean Air Seafood Room. That was really nice. I like that.
Yeah. You try the
Uh,
St. Elmo's shrimp? You do that yet?
no,
Oh, you got
no.
to. Man, that's a natural COVID test right there. Like if you can't taste that or smell anything, like yeah, then you got COVID. But yeah, for sure. Um, you still play basketball? You still got it, Princess?
I think I still got it. I'm in my semi-retired era.
Okay,
That,
cool.
that's where I am. Like I was playing in like a league in Chicago, but then when I went to Arizona, I thought I was going to find a league out there. So for like those 5 months, I didn't touch a basketball. So I'm just like, I got to try to find one again. Like everywhere I go, I try to find and stay active. Because I have like some like different ventures that I'm into now. Like I used to push hard to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back and try to go overseas and all this stuff. But it's like life happens. So it's just like
Yeah,
now I just try to stay in basketball shape. You know.
yeah.
But
If you
yeah, I still play.
um I know that a lot of players obviously go abroad because that's where the opportunity is.
Mm.
If you had the choice of a country to travel to and play in, what would it be?
Um, well, I went to visit my brother in Greece. I would not mind going to like Athens, or it was Athens, Greece, and we went to Pathanakos, I think. I think that's what it was. So
Cool.
there, I wouldn't mind going there.
All right.
Oh, but definitely in Africa too, though. I wouldn't
What,
mind going to Africa.
really? Wow.
Hmm.
What part
Hmm.
of Africa would you want to do?
I don't know. I mean, it can't be like anything just too like deserted away from everything, but I
Yeah.
would just like I would say maybe like what is that? Lagos or Lagos?
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going there.
90 Day Fiance, another great show. People to watch if you haven't checked it out. Um, that's where people travel abroad. They get in crazy relationships. That's what the internet will do. Let's see. A couple more things. What was your free throw routine? I
My free
want.
throw routine.
Yeah.
So I have to have one. So I have to have if the free throw line, then I have a notch. For some reason, a lot of the free throw lines, a lot of basketball players know this. They have like a little notch right there, like somebody like marked it or something.
Hmm.
So if there is a notch there, I'll put my foot either under it, like my right foot under it, or next to it, and then I have to do three dribbles, a spin, and then shoot. And it had to. I have to do that like that every time. I can't. If I did not do it like that, if I didn't have my feet one foot in front of the other and do my three dribbles and spin, I would have to start over. I can't. Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's my routine.
Pregame meal. What was that?
Oh, um, it was different. Like for the most part, anything that was like grilled, nothing that's like too like high, like with butter, like high in fat. I couldn't do that. Um, anything like veggies, chicken, shrimp. Like I'm a chicken and shrimp type of girl. So, and it couldn't be like anything, no breaded shrimp, like nothing like super like,
Okay.
yeah, like the high fat, high bread. I couldn't do that.
Um, you have any superstitions like socks inside out, anything like that?
Um, no, but I do have a fragrance routine as well. If I don't do my fragrance routine before a game, I don't feel right. So it's like these little African oils we get from like the little African shops. You know, they put the little oils in there. I just have to do it like on my arms and then on my legs, and then I was good to go.
Okay.
So that was my routine. So
Was
if you
that
want to
yeah?
call that my superstition, but yeah.
Was that the full routine? Like how long did it take to get prepared to be ready? You know.
So only like so that part was it only took like a few seconds. So that's just like a little rub here, rub arms, then rub on my legs, rub my legs, and then like everything else is just like, it takes about 15 minutes to get ready.
Okay.
But yeah. Nothing
Cool.
too bad. I had to have some music going, meditate a little bit.
Well, my cousin Joey, who played at IU and Butler, he always had to have his hair ready, get it proper for TV, make sure that was good.
I agree.
Let's see. How's your experience as an athlete helped you as a nurse now? Would you say?
Um, it helps you deal with like a lot of chaos.
Yeah, sure.
So like I said, that lifestyle, like, and I mean, I was talking to my husband about this, like, we were talking about like if our kids wanted to play sports, we tell them like this is really a lifestyle because, he played as well, so it's just like you have to, it's like an organized chaos, like, hey, communication, going back and forth to practice, sleeping, still trying to have a social life, still trying to catch up on your show. So like, transferring that into like the corporate world or just
Mm,
being a nurse, like we get a lot of chaos in the hospital. It helps me to be able to like, hey, I'm gonna delegate this, focus on this, get this done, but still make sure, hey, my patient is good. I'm still my primary focus is my patient. My primary focus is my patient. Okay, getting some snacks, taking care of myself as well in between the time, while during my shift. So it just really just helps with dealing with chaos. It just help, and also just like dealing with different personalities, checking yourself, you making sure you yourself, I've grown a lot since my early 20s. So
mm.
I was a little more of a short temper hothead a little bit. I was kind of quick with it, if I felt some type of disrespect, but it's just like over the years I've grown. So it's like more so too checking yourself, like, hey, should I have said that? Make sure, you keep this professional, don't say this and that, so a lot of that has helped. It helps you deal with a lot of different personalities too. And also respect, different backgrounds, with everybody.
Were you ever a trash talker, B?
Only if it was said to me. Other than that, no. Mm-mm. I just
All right.
like to let the game do the talking. Like if you said something to me, now it's like now I have to do something to you. Now I have to go and score or something. So other
Yeah.
than that, like I was just more so like, hey, let the game speak for itself. Encouraging my teammates as much as possible. I may have
Okay.
been like a little hard on my teammates, but I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate it at some point. But yeah,
Um, who's gonna be the tougher coach on your kids, you or your husband?
me.
I love it. That'd be good.
Because he's like, we're like fire and ice. Like I'm like the really sensible, like nurturing one. Of course, as most women are, but it's like I'm also the realistic one too. Like, hey, if you don't do this, this is not like that's how my parents were with me. Like my parents set us all down. Like, okay, if you all are serious about basketball, do this, and that. Then we'll invest in this, and that. But if not, hey, don't waste our. That's how they were, and like,
Right.
and they also were the ones that came and said, "I love you, great job, but work on this." So it was just like I have a mixture. So like we would have a good mixture. Like my husband, he like him being a coach, like he's hard on his players and everything, but also he still has like that chill vibe, But he's hard. Like when he snaps, he snaps, but he still has that chill vibe. Me, once I see my child do like this terrible play, and you keep doing it, like come here, we gotta have this talk. Come here.
Let me set you right. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. Real quick, what skills are you going to teach him, and what skills is he going to teach him as far as a player goes?
So we're both guards. But I'm more of like a combo guard. So my husband would definitely teach him more of the point guard aspect, and definitely like my husband's a great defender, so like defense will be huge in our household as well. But definitely defense with me as well, but more so like, hey, um, baskets do win the game. Also, great teammate, great being a great teammate also gets you far. So I would definitely like kind of just like encourage more of the utilizing your skills, also trying to improve your skills and your teammate skills, distributing a lot more. It'll definitely be more like a lot of scoring aspect on my end too. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask, and you know this as a former athlete that like recruiting doesn't matter, but are you gonna be wanting to tout your kid if like they're highly ranked or something? Have the
Say
first
say
are
it
you gonna
again.
are you gonna have like the personalized shirt with my kid's the number one recruit, like some parents are or anything like that?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
I can't stand that. It's like the AAU moms. I could not stand that. Like I like to be in the cut a little bit. Like you'll find out who I am sooner or later. But like my
Uh,
child ends up being like a really good like athlete or ranked. I'll just like kind of like you'll hear when I start cheering and everything because I still go crazy at my husband's games and watching my brother's games.
yeah.
So
um Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Do you have any resolutions for 2024?
um Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank
I
you.
would say I really don't do. I always have like, let me say this. Every year I tackle some goals. I always have like notes in my phone. Um, so just like certain goals, like basically just to keep trying to. I would say one for sure, just to stay on my path to try to get another stream of income, which I currently am. I would just
Yeah.
literally try to. I would literally just try to actively instead of like, because I'll be moving around a lot. But once I'm finally settled down, it'll be to secure that other stream of income once I'm done being busy with everything else because we're trying to get a house and everything now. So actually, I could say number two, get the house. Number one, get the house. Well,
Great.
we would get the house. But the other one would be like just working on different streams of income because I've always believed in if you have like multiple talents and everything, bet on yourself, do it, get it done, and see how far you'll get with it. So
Okay.
that's my
Um,
resolution.
Best advice you've ever received?
Best advice.
Yes.
Um,
You can list multiple. I mean, it's hard to go down.
There it is. I would say the best advice would be so one, my dad, may he rest in peace. He just kept it real. He would say, "Hey, you need to soul search. Do you really want to do this job, do this sport, do this and this and that? Hey, make sure you have a purpose with doing something."
Hmm.
Then I would say my mother, she would always say, do your best. Just do your best. Not everybody else's best. Do your best. Do the best that you can do. Work hard. Um, and then my brother, he would always tell me to, just hey, just live life, no regrets, go for it. And he always tells me I'm a star. So I try,
There
I
you
try to
go.
take those things in. So those are probably like my top three.
Did your parents get to see your success in college? Part of it.
Yeah, so they did. Both of them they got to see it. Um, my dad he passed away in 2020, so
Okay.
that was more so that was later on when he passed away. He didn't get to see me become a nurse, so that's something that kind of bothered me for a while. But I eventually got over it. So
Well, hey, thank you for being on my show, P. I really appreciate it. And with your success of being a college athlete, I am not surprised in the least that you are where you are now. And it's really cool to see. So it's thank you again for letting me document your story.
and Jimmy, thank you so much for reaching out. You've always been very supportive. You always had a smile on your face. I appreciate this, and this will take you far, even farther than farther than it is now. So thank you so much, Jimmy. You have a great holiday, you and your family. Okay.
All right, will do. Folks, to check out this episode and all others with the show, head over to linktree.com/JBK on air. You can also follow me at JBK on air on all social media pages. And if you feel compelled, you can also donate to the show with the link in the description. Until next time, have a great day and a better tomorrow.